Wode Maya, God bless you abundantly. That's the spirit of Pan-Africanism. The things you're doing and the things I've seen you do in Jamaica at a time like this where they're facing a lot of challenges, that's the spirit of Pan-Africanism. That's community, that's a unity, that's giving from a pure heart. And I pray that God blesses you moving forward in your journey of showcasing the beauty of Africa and the beauty of black people everywhere you go. That's the spirit, and I hope people are going to continue subscribing to your channel, and I hope people are going to continue viewing without skipping the ads. Man, I'm so proud of you. What you've shown is purely golden. God bless you so much, and I hope you're going to keep on winning on this platform. God bless you, man. Good morning. It's very early morning here in East Africa. It's probably 4 a.m. in the morning, and I was just watching Wode Maya's video. Um, Apparently, the guy traveled from Ethiopia, now he's in Jamaica. And I don't have a choice, but I have to make this video because of one reason. And it's raining outside, by the way. If you hear some raindrops, maybe it's because it's raining outside. And here in Africa, we receive rain as a blessing because it has not been raining for quite some days. But now, yesterday and today, it's raining heavily. And we thank God because you see, when it rains here in Africa, it means there's going to be a lot of food for the animals. Because most of us Africans were farmers, it means also that we're going to have a lot of maize. In other countries you call it corn, and corn is one of the staple foods for people here in Africa. Now, that's not the point I want us to dwell on. Now, I want us to really think about Wode Maya as an individual, Wode Maya as an influencer, and Wode Maya as a traveler, and compare him to one of these guys here in Kenya by the name. He hails from Nyabohanse. I'm not going to mention his name right here. I'll mention him definitely as we continue discussing and analyzing this video. As a person who's been watching a lot of YouTube videos from influencers and probably some of the biggest YouTubers in Africa who are traveling outside of their comfort zones, Ghana, Kenya, Nigeria, or wherever you may call it, I want to focus on what Wode Maya does and the genuineness by which he does what he does, and compare to another person here who whatever he does not really reflect Pan-Africanism. Now, look at it this way. Wode Maya is a black person, and there's something that happened, something unfortunate happened to the people of Jamaica. Now, Jamaicans, majority of them are black people, so obviously it tells you one thing. They have the African ancestral heritage, which means anybody from the Caribbean world, anybody hailing from the Caribbean world would easily come and settle here in Africa. Like we've seen in Nyabohanse, a lot of Jamaicans who will be living in the US, they're buying land in Nyabohanse. As much as we have issues with that because that looks more like a scam, if you think about it deeply, more than it is true. And in this video, I want us to be open and have a candid conversation about all these things that have been happening on YouTube. So, if you look at the clip and the video that Wode Maya has uploaded today is 28th of December 2025. He has gone to Jamaica to respond. He has gone to Jamaica not just as a traveler, not just as a tourist, but the sole purpose for him in this video I'm talking about is for humanitarian aid. Every penny that is going to be made on that YouTube video that is uploaded is going to be given to one of the Jamaicans runners, 100 meters runners. I can't actually recall his name, but you can watch that video because I really want us to support that initiative. We might not give money directly, but we can watch the whole video You can like, you can share, you can watch the whole video without skipping the ads. Wode Maya, I'm a Kenyan. Wode Maya is an African. He's Ghanaian, but I love what he's doing. Honestly, now think about it. Let's think about it a little bit deeper. Now, one guy was asking for donations so that he can gift the in-laws. He can buy his in-laws some gifts so that by the time they're going back home in Argentina, they will have gifts from Africa. Now remember that the in-laws came to Africa with nothing. They did not consider that in Africa we have kids, in Africa we have the elderly. Maybe there's something they can bring from Argentina. And mark you, the air tickets was paid for. So they only needed something very little. They did not have to do a lot. But when you're visiting, out of courtesy, you ought to buy something to go and gift the people you're visiting. Now, let us look at it from a Christian perspective. If me as a Christian, we usually go to church on Sunday, mostly. We do carry offerings and other gifts. So if you're visiting, whether you are poor or rich, it doesn't matter. There's a saying that says there's no one who is too rich that they cannot be given, and there's no one who is so poor that they cannot give. So it does not really matter about your background. What really matters is what you have inside here, your heart, giving. So we have people who traveled all the way from Argentina to Africa. They did not carry any gift, even a cape like this, something to gift to Congress mom. Like, you know what? We have bought a gift. We've come with a gift. This is our gift to you. This is a gift maybe to the community. This is a gift maybe to that school where he's been grazing his horses. They carried nothing. And then here we have a guy, because it's his in-laws, and there's nothing wrong with gifting the in-laws. There's nothing wrong with that. We are just talking human to human. What are you supposed to do? If you're traveling from Argentina and you're coming to Africa, then you're expected to at least bring something that makes us connect with Argentina. And in this case, you might have even brought a comb like this one. A comb. Something. I mean, something to connect us with, with the country from which you're visiting. But they brought nothing. Yet, when they're leaving, we have this guy by the name, people call him Kenge, Swamp King, whatever, Muratori. There are some analysts, reactors who will call him Muratori, or whatever they want to call him. This guy has the audacity to ask for donations so that he can buy gifts to gift his in-laws, so that by the time they are leaving Kenya, and I believe they might be leaving this week, they might have gifts from Africa to take to their country, so that by the time they go there, they can say, hey, see, we came all the way from Africa and this is what we brought you. Doesn't that sound crazy to you? Doesn't that sound crazy to you as an African? That this guy has to drag himself all the way through the mud to sanitize, to sanitize his image and his reputation, so that the in-laws can feel like, he's a good guy. Our daughter is in the safe hands. That to me is stupidity of the highest order. Anyways, that's not where the focus of this video is at, because that's BS. Now we all know that there's something tragic that happened in Jamaica. Jamaica was hit by, how do you call it? Is it a tornado or something like this? Melissa something. But that tragedy really washed away a lot of homes for Jamaicans. So there are so many Jamaicans as we are here who do not have homes. Now, Wode Maya, an African traveler, has gone to Jamaica to support those people, and he wants every penny collected from the video he uploaded to be used in rebuilding Jamaica. Jamaica, they have African ancestry, which means whatever Wode Maya is doing, he's doing it to support Africans. Now, compare it to what this guy does in his village. He does not do it to benefit him. Actually, the money he collects from YouTube is for himself. Even when he's done projects, like the recent project at Goko's house, that project was supposed to benefit Goko and him as well. And Marku is the one who was managing the money. Here, Wode Maya is not managing the money. The money is going to be managed by a legend, by a 100 meters track record general. I can't recall his name, but he's the one who's going to manage those funds to help rebuild Jamaica. So we have two individuals who hail from Africa, big YouTubers who hail from Africa, and this is what they choose to do with their platforms. We have one guy who chooses to be so selfish. His PR is so good because he comes off as being selfless, because you know, when he's building his community, when he's doing all those projects at home, the image he wants to portray is that he's selfless, he's so kind, he's a giver. Why doesn't he say, have you ever heard, he made about 25 videos when they were doing Goko's construction. He made about 25 videos. And out of those 25 videos, the money he's paid by YouTube is his. He did not say, the money I make from this channel for this month or for these 5 videos is going to be used in building Goko's house. No, that's not what he does. His money is his. The monies that is donated by through donations, that's the only money that is meant to build the community. Any other contribution is not meant for that. Anything he makes from his YouTube channel is not meant to build the community. His is just a platform where you come, this is a platform, you use this platform, you benefit, I benefit. But now look at Wode Maya. Wode Maya has gone to Jamaica. He has actually gone to the ground. Because all these YouTubers, they benefited from Caribbean countries. They were welcomed. In Caribbean countries, they were welcomed. They felt as if when they were starting their YouTube channels, they felt that one of the places they can easily call home is the Caribbean islands. Jamaica being one of them. And now that Jamaica is having some hiccups here and there because of what happened with Melissa, that Melissa thing, they are not talking about it. And here we have Jamaicans, by the way, from the United States of America coming all the way to Kenya, to that village to buy land. And they've forgotten that there has been a crisis back home, which makes you wonder, where is the connection? And throughout the video that Mura uploaded today, all he's thinking is, oh, Kenya is changing, Kenya is changing, Kenya is changing. Look at the buildings. You know, that's how he talks. Look at the buildings. Look at this. Look at Africa. Kenya is changing. If you don't have brains, you don't see the future. The future is in Africa. Come buy land here. Come purchase land here. Come make buildings here. That's how he talks, by the way. He entices people, and he likes it. When he's enticing people, actually doesn't entice. He makes you feel like you're missing out. He uses fear, like, aren't you afraid that you're missing out on an opportunity that could have benefited you in the long run? Here it is, we have opportunities here in Africa, and it's true anyway, there are opportunities here in Africa you can, if you have money. Like I see all those hip hop artists, if you have money, you can always come back to Africa and build. There are so many opportunities. There are a lot of things you can do. Again, on this one, Kenya is a country. I would say Kenya and South Africa. There are two countries in Africa, in sub-Saharan Africa, where if you come, it's very easy to grow. First of all, you're dealing with a generation whereby Kenyans, they're so exposed, and especially when it comes to technology and growth, internet, and all those things, Kenyans are up there with South Africa and Nigerians. But Nigeria apparently is having a lot of crisis, so I'll not delve deeper into that. Anyway, here we are talking about Wode Maya and Marwa, and we are trying to compare between the two. And as much as everybody has a peculiar path which they're supposed to follow, we see a lot of differences and intentions. The intention, when Marwa is saying that he's developing his village, what does he do it out of a pure heart? Now, recently he has been claiming that he's not going to do that anymore. He's not going to be doing those projects anymore. And there could be reasons. One of them, I think, it's because some of the people who've been donating have also realized that there's a problem somewhere. We are not solving a problem in that village. In any case, we are amplifying a problem that we've seen. There's no way Mura is the only one who is making enemies here and there. Recently, they had an issue with Nico Buddha and Mayugno. There's no way that Mura is the only guy who is having issues with the villagers. How comes his family is the only one that is having issues with other villagers? Is that the way it's supposed to be? No. But look at Wode Maya. He does things silently. Of course, no one is perfect, but he does his things silently. He makes his moves, and he's using his channel for the right reason. And I'm so impressed by what he said. And I'll attach a clip at the beginning of this video. You have to watch it. I'll attach a clip where Wode Maya says it very, very clearly that all the money that is going to be made from that video will be geared towards helping the people of Jamaica, all those people who are affected by the storms. That is it a tornado? I can't really recall, but it's something by the name Melissa. I will have to go back to the internet and check because right now I'm just reacting to what I watched on that video. And by the way, people, please go and watch that video. Let's support this guy. Let's support that mission because he means well. Unlike this other guy, all he's doing, all he cares about is his image and reputation with his in-laws. He wants to buy gifts and all those things for the in-laws who, when they were coming, they never did share for him. And these are some of the issues that we have to address. And initially, I never thought I would sit down here and talk ill of that guy because I started watching him like 5 years ago or 6 years ago, and his intentions were right. He was very focused on doing the things he was doing. But then somewhere down the line, he realized like, there's a lot of money to make from donations. I don't really have to strain too much traveling all over the world in countries where I'm not even being accepted. I mean, the money he's making from YouTube is a lot, but then there's also another money he was making a lot more money outside through donations. And I think he has come to a point where he's realized like he's not receiving donations as much as he used to. And he's looking at his proteges. And some of his proteges I would like to talk about his the likes of Nasto, Mayugno, Nico Buddha, we have Brian, Kizo, Ken Chronicles. You remember there's a time they traveled to Coast recently. All that is because Marwa, some of the people who are donating to his channel realize that we cannot really trust Marwa. We would rather deal directly with the guys we want to deal with. Like now, whoever is supporting Kizo is really upgraded that boy's life. That guy is sorted. In 1 year's time, if that guy uses common sense, he's sorted for good. He's not going to come back to the streets. He's not going to strain. He's not going to struggle. But he needs to be very, very keen. He needs to build a business for himself because if he doesn't, this YouTube thing, because if These young boys get used to donations. They will never value hard work. They will never value diversifying their content. They will never grow their channels. Look at Wode Maya. Look at the subscribers he has. And I'm praying and I'm hoping that that video he uploaded today is going to hit millions and millions of views, and that people are going to like and watch even the ads, because he needs to get money. Um, I think that guy is called, it's not Paul, but I believe he's going to collect enough money that is going to help in building back Jamaicans and the people who are affected by those storms. If I heard correctly, he said that he wants to build, I think, about 1,000 houses. And 1,000 houses is not easy. It's not a joke. It requires really a lot of money. I do not know how much. I don't know the cost of materials in Jamaica, but here in Kenya, specifically, the price of cement, the price of iron bars is quite expensive. So I tend to think, like, rebuilding a community that was destroyed can really cost a dime. But I hope that through his channel, that even well wishers are going to donate directly and support Wode Maya, because he means well for that community. Unlike this other guy, Wode Maya means well for his community, for that Jamaican community. Imagine traveling all the way from Ghana through Ethiopia, and then he's in Jamaica. And if you watch the content he was doing in Ethiopia, this guy is just busy promoting Africa. I mean, if you watch the city of Addis Ababa, you'll be shocked that this Africa, you see, when people talk about Africa, they have that negative perspective about Africans and Africa in general. But you see, with the recent expose about Wode Maya, you realize that he's busy promoting Africa in a very good way. Unlike we have Marwa, anytime he has a camera, all he wants to show is showing himself going for washrooms, peeing everywhere, like the recent video that he did. How do you record yourself? Shit. How do you record yourself having a shit? And you want to showcase that as the spirit of African Pan-Africanism? I highly disagree with that. I do not agree with that. That's not even a Kenyan way of doing things. I would rather he says we, that's him and his family. And that was so embarrassing, to say the least. This guy has been embarrassing the spirit of Pan-Africanism recently so badly. You wouldn't believe. But then and that's why his channel is not growing. You just go and compare his channel and Wode Maya's channel, and you'd realize there is a very significant difference between the two. Wode Maya is doing great things. Wode Maya is promoting Africa. He's promoting Pan-Africanism, because what you see when you're talking about Pan-Africanism, we are not only confined within Africa. This is about every person who has an African ancestry, whether you are in Europe, whether you are in Asia, whether you are in Africa, whether you're in the Caribbean islands, whether you are in North and South America, wherever you are, as long as you have that African ancestry, the spirit of Pan-Africanism. And Pan-Africanism is about community, it's about unity, it's about togetherness. And by the way, I want to challenge the people who support I am Marwa without a second thought. Because some of them, they follow him as a cult. Have you ever taken time to consider calling your guy and telling him, hey bro, whatever you're doing is wrong? I mean, look at what was happening recently between him and Mayugno and Nico Buddha. Is that the spirit of Pan-Africanism? Is that the way we are supposed to solve problems? Because problems are always going to be there. We're always going to have conflicts. But is that the way we are going to solve conflicts? Is that the way we are going to handle issues as black people? Instead of us showing that we can have conflict and then we have proper conflict management systems. And I'm shocked it's the older generation that is even inciting this guy. Like there's that guy called Chocolate Nonsense thing, Chocolate something. Instead of him being the older person and instill some level of wisdom to help this guy in solving conflicts, he's there inciting for more division within the community. Is that the kind of Pan-Africanism we want? No, no, that's not what we want. We want something different. We want something like the one we've been shown by Wode Maya. We want somebody who can sit. We want somebody who can see there's a river between and there's a land and there's a land. We need a bridge. At least Wode Maya is connecting that. And I'm so proud of this young man. And whatever he decides to do, me as a Kenyan, I'll always be one of the people who is going to cheer him up as he continues showcasing the kind of unity that we need as black people. You know, guys, seriously, you have to go and watch that video. I mean, I didn't the news, the way the news reported about that Hurricane Melissa, it was not as expounded as the way Wode Maya has really showcased the damage, the kind of damage that was done by that hurricane. And I can tell you, it might take Jamaica quite some time to recover from what they lost. You can honestly see some of the houses are still covered by water. And here we have a guy who benefited a lot. He made a lot of content from Jamaica, but he cares less. All he cares about, I want to report wholesales, Appaloosa wholesales. I want to have a big ranch, just buying land after land after land. And I'm not saying that's wrong. The problem is, some of these people who donate to his channel are Jamaicans. Instead of you reconnecting with the Jamaicans and letting them know, hey, home, there's a problem back at home, and we need first of all to unite. Whatever you want to buy is luxury. Horses are luxury. You at least have a villa and a place where you can call home, as much as it's a swamp, according to some sources. At least you have a home. There are people who do not have a home. That hurricane happened, and Hurricane Melissa happened, and people are messed up. You guys might have to go and watch that video by Wode Maya to understand the extent of damage that was done by that hurricane. And now, this is a guy. Imagine, there's so many YouTubers who really benefited by making content in Jamaica and using Jamaicans. But up to now, the only person we are seeing is Wode Maya. The likes of D Mwango, the likes of D whoever, the likes of I am whoever. Just a small statement, and they don't care. All they think about is themselves. All they think about is purchasing large pieces of land back at home, storing masses of wealth. Don't they have some conscience or concerns to reconnect with the people who are making a lot of content from? And that was talking about earlier, this zero sympathy. And here we have a guy like Wode Maya who has 1.93 million subscribers, and he's trying his best, asking for $1, $10, $100 from his subscribers. He has a link, and the money he's going to get from that video, he claimed, and I've said it again on this video, he has claimed that the money he's going to make from that video will be directed will be directed in supporting Jamaicans. And sorry guys, it's raining heavily here, so if this video might not be that clear, you might have to understand me as well, because it's raining heavily. And yeah, you see the rains, they are really hitting that roof, so that sound, it's good for people who are sleeping, but for people like me who are trying to make some content right now, it can be quite challenge. But anyway, my point is, you can see the difference between these two people, and you can see why. It's clear. You can see the reasons. You all have the reason. I heard some noise. It's at night here. No, not night actually. It's very early in the morning here. It's actually probably 4 a.m. So I heard something. Anyway, forget about that. The thing is, you can easily understand and see the reason as to why there has been a very big difference between the number of subscribers between the two individuals. Yet they started at the same time and their content was similar when they were starting. I am Marwa was traveling all over the world. We have Wode Maya was also traveling all over the world. But you can see as of now, there's a very huge difference, even by the way people think. You can see Wode Maya really relies on his um views and all that to make his moves. The other guy, I'm not gonna say much, but there's a reason people say he's scamming people, and every day is becoming clearer. By the way, and he has a, it's like he operates a cult because when you speak about some of the things he does, people think you are hating on him. No, you're not. We are not hating on him. We would want him to succeed, honestly. I would want him to succeed with his horse businesses, with his travel company, with his YouTube channel, and everything else. But at least use the right channels to make that money and make those moves. You understand? Be like, honestly, I can easily say here that be like Wode Maya. There's a reason as to why people have really shown Wode Maya a lot of love. And even when he goes there, people feel they are really connecting with a real African, because he is going there with a very open heart and a very open mind and with a very clear goal that this is what I want to achieve. By the time I'm done making this video, at least I'll have collected money, and the kind of money I'm going to collect, I will not use even a single cent for my own sake, but I'll help the Jamaicans to at least rebuild what they lost. Because this, if you see that video, if you watch that video, you can really tell that Hurricane Melissa really messed up these people big time. It really messed these people big time. But here we have an African who is trying his best to use his platform, and he's actually collaborating with Powell. I remember the guy is called Powell. Powell was 100 meters. He's an Olympian, a well-known Olympian. Powell. You just go and check him. Wode Maya has collaborated with also guys who have influence in the country to see at least if they can do something, so that all the people who are affected can at least feel that part. When you are hurt, when you are broken, sometimes it's not even about the houses, it's about that hope. Is the world connecting with us? Does the world feel the way we feel? Is the world empathetic? Is the world sympathetic about our situation? So what Wode Maya has done is what majority of African content creators who have been benefiting from Jamaicans have not done. They are not empathetic, they are not sympathetic, they're just pathetic. And we have one here in Kenya, in Nyabuhansi, very extremely pathetic to the core. All he cares about is his businesses, his empire, his family's empire. That's why he feels bad. To him, it's betrayal when other people are purchasing pieces of land to benefit themselves and at least build something for their kids in the future. He does not see himself betraying his subscribers who are mainly, majority of them are Jamaican. He does not view that as betrayal. To him, when you do things to him, that's betrayal. But when him is just collecting pieces of land and does not care about Jamaicans, that's not betrayal. All he cares about is making sure that his in-laws have got some gifts to take back home so that people can see they came from Africa. And he's a guy who, positioned himself in a situation where he has a particular lifestyle, which is not, if he's not careful, he's not going to manage. I mean, that's so shameful. It is so shameful. And I'm gonna say it as it is. You go and watch the two videos from the two guys. No, well, forget about the other one. You can trust me. You go and watch Wode Maya. You don't have 3 hours. You have at least you have 1.5 hours to go and watch Wode Maya. The other one you can watch reactors and see what they have to say. You better trust the reactors because this is a guy who he lies. Recently, he's coming off as a scammer. He mistreats his employees and his friends, and then starts smear campaigns against these boys' reputations. You haven't seen Wode Maya having smear campaigns against other YouTubers just because you're selfish and jealous. Seeing somebody like Mayugno, who has never been to school, experiencing growth. Is that the kind of Africa we want? No, of course we don't want that kind of Africa. So, with that said, I hope, Jamaicans are going to get the kind of support they want. And I'm praying that people all over the world, especially everybody who has that African ancestry, is going to chip in something. At the moment, the best I can do is watch without skipping the ads. But to those who might watch this video and feel they have something they can do for that community, please go ahead and do it. Because Wode Maya is really, really crying for your support. And he has said it in that video, and I'm going to say it again here. He's not taking any dime, even a cent from that video. Everything he's going to make from that video is going to be geared towards supporting Jamaicans, especially at a time they're struggling. And I hope that is going to make a lot of money moving forward because we need to see every country that has that African ancestry growing and getting whatever they want to get. So, with that said, adios, see you in another one, and you guys don't forget to do what you have to do. If you really like this content, you can feel free to subscribe. Take me to a new, I would also want to achieve something. YouTube is a big cake. We can all, if you really like what I'm talking about here, if you really like the conversation we are having here, you can always subscribe to this channel. And who knows? Everybody, the future belongs to everyone. If there are guys who had nothing, and especially from what I've seen in Yabuhanse, a lot of guys started with nothing, and the likes of Naso, they've really done a lot of good things for themselves. The likes of Maibno, Nikobura, Mapopo, all of them have done good things for themselves in terms of growth. Priska Sagati, as much as I really don't like what's happening in that village, at least I've seen a lot of growth in them. So I also want to grow, and seems like I'm starting this journey. I'm still going to identify a niche for myself with time. But for now, I'm gonna say it as it is because I've been consuming a lot of African content, especially those who travel outside of Africa and showcasing how other countries look like, and also traveling within Africa to showcase the beauty of Africa, like the recent videos done by Wode Maya in Ethiopia, showcasing the beauty that Africans hold. I've been watching a lot of content and I feel it's right within my time that I can also react and have an opinion of my own and let myself and you guys we have a conversation, we interact and see what can come out of it. Maybe in future or in recent future, or probably in a few months' time, we can have a podcast where we can have these conversations, discuss things. We do not necessarily have to focus on a lot of negativity because this video was supposed to be was meant to talk about the positive side of African influencers and the other side of an African influencer based here in Kenya and show why there's that difference. And I hope as much as it's not this video is not as organized as it's supposed to be, I hope at least the message is clear and we can all see why it's very easy for a person like Wode Maya to break through and become who he is. And we can also see why God has really blessed him because he started this like 7 or 8 years ago, and we can see recently how he is using his now channel to bring positivity within people of African ancestry. Anyway, adios, and I wish you a very good day moving forward. Have a good one.